Hi, I'm Naga Praveen. This is a video lecture on International Financial Reporting Standards. In this video, I will talk about the history of accounting standards and introduction to IFRS. The very first attempt to formulate accounting standards was made immediately after the stock market crash in US in 1929. American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, then it was called as American Institute of Accountants, created special committee to work with New York Stock Exchange toward the goal of establishing standards, accounting standards. This special committee issued what was called accounting bulletins, some 51 accounting bulletins. Later, somewhere in 1950s, this special committee was replaced by Accounting Principal Board. The Accounting Principal Board issued some 31 authoritative opinions on accounting topics. But the serious attempt to accounting standards was made after the establishment of FASB, Financial Accounting Standards Board, which was formed in 1972 in US. The FASB issued what was called Statements of Financial Accounting Standards, popularly known as US GAAP. FASB issued many accounting standards. At one point of time, they lost the number of how many standards were in implementation. So in 2009, all the accounting standards were codified. After codification, there were just 90 standards in US GAAP. That was about US GAAP. Coming to International Financial Reporting Standards. In 1960s, there were some calls for international standards and some early steps were taken. Then in 1962, 8th International Congress of Accountants was held, and many see a need for international accounting and auditing standards in that Congress. Then in 1966, Accountants International Study Group was formed by IASB and its UK and Canada counterparts. But a major step in bringing convergence in accounting standards was done when International Accounting Standards Committee was formed in 1973. IASC was formed to develop and promote international accounting standards. The IASC was formed as a result of an agreement between accounting bodies in developed countries like Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Japan, Mexico, Netherlands, UK, and US. IASC was responsible for developing the international accounting standards and promoting the use and application of those standards. It issued 41 accounting standards from 1973 till 2001. But it was felt in late 90s that IASC was not independent of its member bodies and each member has its own set of interests and it was difficult to accommodate all those interests. So a committee was formed to issue a report for restructuring IASC. The committee issued a report called Recommendations on Shaping IASC for the Future. Based on the recommendations of the report, International Accounting Standards Board IASB was formed to replace IASC and assumed standard setting responsibilities. So on March 1st, 2001, IASB assumed accounting standard setting responsibilities from IASC. Now IASB is independent standard setting body of IFRS Foundation. So IFRS Foundation is the parent body for IASB. The IFRS Foundation is an independent, not-for-profit private sector organization working in public interest. The principal objectives of IFRS Foundation are to develop a single set of high-quality, understandable, enforceable, and globally accepted international financial reporting standards through IASB, and to promote the use and rigorous application of IFRS, and to bring about convergence of national accounting standards and IFRS. On April 18, 2001, the IASB approved a resolution stating that all standards and interpretations issued under previous constitutions, that is IASC, continue to be applicable unless and until they are amended or withdrawn. So the effect of this resolution is that all IASC standards and interpretations issued by SIC, Standing Interpretation Committee, in effect as of 1st April 2001 remain in effect until they are amended or withdrawn by IASB. The following are the international accounting standards which are still in implementation. So now if anybody says IFRS, they include International Financial Reporting Standards which are issued by IASB from 2001, International Accounting Standards issued by IAC still in existence, new interpretations issued after 2001, and old interpretations issued by SIC. In 2002, the European Union adopted legislation requiring all listed companies to prepare their consolidated financial statements using IFRS starting from 2005. This was a major boost to all the efforts made by IASB and its previous body IAC. Also in 2002, the FSB and IASB met jointly and agreed to work together to improve and converge US GAAP and IFRS. So for this purpose, they entered into a memorandum of understanding in 2006. Structure of IFRS Foundation. IFRS Foundation consists of three-tier structure: a monitoring board, IFRS Foundation, IASB, IFRS Interpretation Committee, IFRS Advisory Council, and support operation. The monitoring board appoints and monitors trustees of IFRS Foundation. The IFRS Foundation trustees are responsible for governance of IFRS Foundation. They are also responsible for appointing members of IASB and Interpretation Committee. They are also responsible for making available finance for activities of IFRS Foundation and IASB. IASB consists of technical members who are selected based on their technical expertise. IFRS Advisory Council provides strategic advice to Interpretation Committee and IASB. The members of IFRS Advisory Council are appointed by trustees of IFRS Foundation. Also, you have support operations of IFRS Foundation. Standard setting process. The IFRS are developed through an international consultation process called due process. It involves interested parties around the world. The due process comprises 6 stages: setting the agenda of a topic, project planning, developing and publishing the discussion paper, the exposure draft, the standard. Once a standard is issued, IASB looks after the implementation of the standard, whether there are any problems. So due process consists of 6 stages, and it also includes stage after the standard is issued.